What up, y'all? So Aaron Pierre has landed the role of Green Lantern John Stewart in the DC Universe. And I am a part of the group of people who's a little conflicted on this casting because there's three main reasons. Reason number one, I am so happy for Aaron Pierre. I hope he does an outstanding job in this role. For real, I'm so excited for him. Reason number two, there is talks of colorism surrounding the casting of Aaron Pierre as John Stewart. There is a group of people who feel like another light-skinned person has...
They took our jobs! Yeah, they're down, took our jobs!
And reason number three why I am so conflicted on this casting is I am so mad that Marvel lost out on Aaron Pierre. Yo, what a major loss. It was rumored that, well, I'm not even going to say a rumor. It was a fact. Aaron Pierre was casted in Blade next to Mahershala Ali, and he was rumored to be the villain, and Marvel just let him walk out the door. In this video, we'll tackle all three of these topics in a little bit more depth. All right, let's get into topic number one, which is I am excited for Aaron Pierre. I've seen him in a couple things over the years, but this year he played Malcolm X on the Disney Plus show Genius, and wow, he really embodied Malcolm X. Him and Jamie Lawson, she played Betty Shabazz, and I was like, okay, y'all giving Denzel and Angela a little run for their money, man. They did a great job in that TV show. Y'all should check it out. Then I saw a trailer for Rebel Ridge, and I was like, oh, he has the ability to be an action star as well. I'm like, this guy is on the move. So when I heard that he was in the running for John Stewart, I was like, hey, this guy is 6'3". He's physically imposing. He looks like a damn superhero. And honestly, this could be a huge role for him if James Gunn and DC handles this well. And let's keep it a book, man. This guy looks like a Hollywood movie star. He can act, and he looks amazing in a suit. He's about to eat these red carpets up. Aaron Pierre is about to make some damn money in Hollywood, and he's a theater kid. So he's a well-rounded, thoroughbred actor. I'm happy for the guy. Now, topic number two, this casting is controversial because of colorism. Let's keep it real. And let's be honest, there is room for both of these conversations to be had. There is room to say, hey, congrats, Aaron Pierre, but there is a conversation around colorism. Both of these things can happen at the same time. Now, me personally, I am the queen of belief that when a casting call goes out, whoever walks in and does the best job deserves that damn role. That is my motto 90% of the time. That is what I live by for almost every single role. Now, there are these little one-offs that certain roles are very, very particular. Some characters or some roles are so very specific or historical that I believe it just has to stay very cookie cutter down to the T. For example, Tony Stark, Daemon Targaryen, and Batman, let's just be very frank, let white boys have those roles, okay? Now, on the flip side, when you have characters like Gambit or Corlys Velaryon or Namor, I personally don't care if they're race-bent. I think there's a little wiggle room for whenever an actor walks in, if the actor kills it and they're not the color that they are in the comics or in the literature, give the job to the best person. Because me, I can rock with a Creole Gambit, all right? I can see it happening. I have no problems with some characters being race-bent. But when it comes to colorism, it is so important that when you have these characters that are traditionally dark-skinned, I think it's very important to go out and search and try to find a qualified person that fits that role visually. Because historically, when you're dealing with Black actors that tend to be darker skinned, unfortunately, a lot of the studios tend to want to put them in these stereotypical roles that doesn't give them a lot of room to grow. They tend to be underpaid, and they want to cast them like as the thug or the ghetto girl from the hood or the ghetto friend. They don't give them space sometimes to be these different positive characters. So when you have someone like T'Challa or Storm or Jon Stewart, I feel like these studios should try their hardest to find someone to match up as close as possible to what those characters visually look like in the literature, because that could be someone's big break in Hollywood. This can be positive representation where little dark-skinned kids can see themselves on TV in a positive light. And it gives those actors additional income and also room to take up space in the industry. When traditionally, those actors can sometimes be given these throwaway type roles where it's hard for them to kind of succeed. Historically, lighter-skinned actors have always been favored to be given opportunities, honestly, because these movie studios felt like, okay, if I have to cast a Black person, I would prefer them to be light-skinned, because the stereotype is they may be perceived more attractive than their darker-skinned counterparts. And show business is about selling a product, and these entertainers are the product, and they want the product to be attractive and marketable and have the ability to be sold. All right, so what does all this have to do with Aaron Pierre and Jon Stewart? Some people have asked, should he have not auditioned for the role? Jon Stewart was designed to look like Sidney Poitier, and let's keep it real, Aaron Pierre does not look like Sidney Poitier. But we are in a recession. Everybody got to eat. So my opinion on if he should have auditioned for the role or not, man, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. What I can say is Zendaya has talked about not taking up space or taking away opportunities that should go to darker skinned actresses. Amanda Steinberg walked away from the role of Shuri because she felt like, nah, I don't want to take up that space. Plus, I think she saw a lot of the talk on Twitter and social media about how Storm was Halle Berry, and people were a little upset, but we kind of accepted it because it was back in the early 2000s or 90s. But then they did it again when they put Alexandria Shipp as Storm. So I think Amanda Steinberg was like, yo, I don't want none of the colorism smoke. I'm not going to be Shuri. Nope, not going to do it. She gracefully bowed out. She didn't want no parts of it. So now that I'm sitting here and I'm thinking a little harder about it, my gut is saying maybe Aaron Pierre should have skipped out on this role. And here's why. Now, he was in the running against Stephen James. Stephen has had a few roles over the past couple years, but this could have been a major breakout role for him. Let's say the worst case scenario, Aaron Pierre says, you know what, respectfully, James Gunn, I'm not going to go for this role. This role was meant for a darker skinned person. Aaron Pierre is going to be okay. He's not losing out on anything if he would have turned this role down. After this Rebel Ridge movie, Aaron Pierre's phone is ringing off of the hook. I'm sure he has to turn away a lot of opportunities. He's about to be Mufasa in the new Lion King movie that's about to come out. Fiscally, Aaron Pierre is going to be okay in Hollywood if he wouldn't have took this role. So, man, I think he should have passed, man. I think this is what my gut is saying. Maybe he should have passed on this role. Now, he didn't pass on the role. He got the job. So now that this is the reality, this is where we are, I'm going to 100% support Aaron Pierre in this role. Did James Gunn and team make the best decision? Of course. I'm not even hating on James Gunn because from a business perspective, once again, he's on fire from the Rebel Ridge movie. He's 6'3". He looks like a goddamn superhero in stature. So if I'm DC Studios, yes, I am snatching him up without debate. No question. I would not care. I'm sure they sat down and weighed the pros and cons and said, okay, he really does not look like Jon Stewart, but are we about to just let him walk? Will we take the small little backlash that we may receive? Yeah, but we're not about to lose this guy. This guy is about to be on fire in Hollywood. And that leads to the third reason on why I am torn about this casting. Marvel completely dropped the ball by losing Aaron Pierre. So, it is a fact that Aaron Pierre was casted alongside Mahershala Ali in the Blade movie that is currently stuck in purgatory. We don't know what's going on with Blade. I'm almost 95% positive Aaron Pierre was going to be the villain in the movie. That's what I was hearing from some very good sources. When I heard that he was in Marvel some years ago and he was going to be in the Blade project, I was excited. I'm like, yo, he is about to kill this role if him and Mahershala Ali are about to be facing off. And then Blade started having issues. They were losing writers. They were losing directors. And it was reported that Aaron Pierre left the movie. And I was like, oh my God, y'all are letting a gold mine walk out of the door. And honestly, Marvel probably felt like they're so high up and above everyone else they probably let him walk with the intentions of, hey, we're going to circle back and bring you back for another project. And they wasn't thinking that James Gunn is simply on a mission to cast some of the best people in his universe, and he does not care about stealing actors from some of the best projects that are out, including House of the Dragon and Marvel Studios. Now, I don't know how this DC universe is going to pan out at all, but the big thing that James Gunn is doing very well over there is casting. He is gathering up some talented people to be over in that DC universe. So I'm so sad that Marvel just let Aaron Pierre gladly walk over to DC. It's crazy. And what's so crazy about Disney, if you pay attention to them, once they get an actor, they like to keep them in their studio. So peep this. He was casted in Blade. He was casted as Malcolm X in the Genius TV show that was on Disney+. And he's in the upcoming Lion King movie as Mufasa. So before he left Marvel, I was happy. I'm like, yo, Disney is recognizing how talented this guy is, and they're shopping him to every freaking pocket in their studio. Yeah, go over to Marvel. Yeah, we want you to be Malcolm X as well. But unfortunately, they just could not get Blade off the ground, and now DC has snatched Aaron Pierre up. So those are like three of the main things that kind of have me a little conflicted on this casting. I'll definitely get over it. I'm going to watch the Lantern show simply because Aaron Pierre is in it. And I'm almost positive he is going to be the Lantern that eventually makes it to the big screen. And I'm going to be supporting him in all his future endeavors. I honestly think he is about to take Hollywood over and sprint through it. So, how do y'all feel about the Aaron Pierre casting? Leave your comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.